Hello everyone, this is Gaming on Moving on Back, and in this video we're going to be going over the top 10 mid-game characters. Lots of these lists seem to have a lot of Galactic Legends and Legendaries and Raid characters, as well as the latest and greatest characters. However, many of these are not really available to mid-game players, or they're just kind of reaching it. So I wanted to create a list of characters that are kind of easily acceptable or accessible for mid-game players who've kind of completed the campaigns but are not at the end game stages yet. So that's kind of what I wanted to do with this list. For late game players, their light and dark side are fairly even, but for lots of mid game players, usually when you first start the game, you stick with the side and you're kind of skewed towards that. So my teams are kind of skewed towards the light side. I've kind of been trying to balance out the dark side for a while. I know many people around me went dark side first, and then their light side is a little lacking. So this list is kind of going to be a balance of light and dark side. So if you went a little light side, this is going to be some good dark side characters to try and build up. And if you went dark side, there's going to be a couple good light side characters to build up as well. So there are no Galactic Legends on this list, or raid characters, or new unfarmable marquee characters or anything like that. There is one legendary character, and when I get to him, I'll tell you why I've included him. But for the most part, there's no other legendary characters either. It's just kind of farmable characters that everyone can get. So the first character I wanted to go into was Bousque. He's just a great leader for the bounty hunters. He really elevates them and makes them a great team. He also has one of the best ships in the game. It's extremely plug and play. So he just is a phenomenal asset. He is a pretty good tank. So he's just a great character. I definitely recommend him. So if you haven't had working on bounty hunters, he's a great addition. He kind of brings them to a whole new level. The next character I have is Nest. She is an amazing standalone character. One of the best plug and play characters. You can throw her onto any team, and she's a great addition. Obviously, she doesn't have much synergy with many teams other than Scoundrels, but she is pretty fantastic. If you mod her well, I like heavy tenacity. She can do some pretty great things. Oh, it looks like my tenacity mods are a little off. But yeah, she's just a great character. Don't forget about her. It's one of the few characters that you can invest in just a single character, and she can do great things. Even in 5v5, she's gonna hold her own on offense or on defense in Grand Arena. So definitely, you're gonna want to invest in her sooner rather than later. I know lots of people put her off and they regret it later on. So I'm glad I farmed her early. The next character is Darth Vader. So he is obviously amazing after his rework. He can solo lots of teams. He makes a great team viable. He can be put on with other strong characters and just be even stronger. He can counter some Galactic Legends, and his ship's even pretty good too. So he's just an amazing character. Do not sit on him because he can do so much. So just toss him in with a couple other characters, and he's a pretty great start for a dark side. The next is Shock T. So Gas can take quite a while to farm, but Shock T and the Clones is a fantastic team. It really is. Um, she is great with them, and then you can kind of not worry about farming Gas for quite a while when you have a great Shock T clone team. So obviously, it's not going to be taking out the best teams, but she is quite amazing, and she also works very well with just Jedi and Galactic Republic characters as well. So there's a whole bunch of options to go with her if you still don't have clones up and running, but you still want to work her out. So she's has a pretty cool kit, and she's just a phenomenal character. The next one in the only legendary on this list is Thrawn. I actually had Thrawn ready to like a 7-star and not leveled up for actually years because I didn't have Empire and I didn't see him being as good as people had said he was. But having him leveled up and playing with him, I definitely agree that he is a phenomenal character. You don't even really need a team to put him on. You just throw him on, and his kit is just so great. He can help counter Galactic Legends. He's one of the longest lasting counter meta characters, and he's kind of near future proof. So in a year's time, he'll probably still be fairly good just because of his kit. So don't sit on him. He can plug and play kind of almost any team and add some great help and depth. And he is an okay capital ship as well, especially if you don't have the negotiator or the malevolence or any of the later game ships that are really good. He has a of the first original three, he was definitely the best, and it's kind of helped me out, especially if you're getting dabbling into getting two ships on Grand Arena, two teams on defense for a Grand Arena championship. I think if you don't have some of the new late game ships, it is a decent start to use him as a capital ship as well. But I definitely don't sit on him. He's just he's really fantastic. The next character I have on here is Basile Sean the Jedi. Her leadership with the Zeta kind of completely takes Jedi to a new level. You obviously she works great with the really high tier Jedi as well, but even lower tier Jedi, just having her as a leader and some low tier like old Bens or something like that can be amazing. So if you are just starting to dabble in light side and you don't have too many Jedi, you should still focus on Basile Sean because she can make a team pretty great with her leadership ability. It kind of changes the game. I remember when she first came out, it was a massive step up, and it still holds up today. The next one is Geonosian Brute Alpha. So obviously he makes a Geos viable, so it's a pretty good team. It needs a certain level of strength to get through it. But he's also a great standalone character. Just tossing him into almost any team with his brute tanking, it is just a great addition to almost any team. So if you can have a good brute alpha with a whole bunch of weak geos and it's still a decent team, or you can just toss him onto any other team and he kind of holds his own. So I wouldn't sit on him either. He has some great additions to kind of any list. The next one is Mon Mothma. She kind of takes some garbage rebels and makes them pretty amazing. Lots of those characters that who aren't very good, kind of like a Biggs and Wedge. She makes great, and then you can simultaneously use them with ships. So if you're just starting to dabble in light or dark side, and you've kind of focused on one side, you're going to be trying to be as efficient as possible. So using Mon Mothma with a Biggs and Wedge is great for the characters themselves, as well as you're working on some ships, and they kind of help out with the ship meta as well. So rebels can be okay if you have the right ships as well. So you're kind of simultaneously building two aspects of the game. So it's a really efficient way to do it, and she has a really good team. So it's a really good path to go down. Obviously, she's farmable now, so take advantage of that. It's something that I haven't started upgrading her, but I am actively farming her. The next character on my list is Count Dooku. I've Count Dooku for a very long time, but recently I've started to see him in Grand Arena, and he's definitely been dealing some major damage to me. So don't underestimate him. He's extremely annoying and underrated. His unique with the counter chance, if he has good potency with the stuns, can be absolutely devastating. Countering and stunning you constantly is very very tough to beat, and it's very frustrating to go against, especially if you have a new lead by any chance. They combine very very well, and just I wouldn't underestimate him. He's kind of a good kind of plug and play character just because of his unique with the counters and the stuns. And finally, the last character on my list is 3PO and Chewie. So he has just a really good kit. He works very well with the Mon Mothma team, kind of mentioned earlier. So if you have a Mon Mothma with Wedge and Biggs, and you can add 3PO and Chewie to make the team even better. But he also works with other rebels. You know, if you have the right team, you can kind of counteract some Galactic Legends with CLS and Han and Chewie. So he can really hit up big as well as making lower level Rebels teams viable. So he is just an overall great character for the light side. And I'm definitely glad that I'm focusing on him now, and I can't wait to unlock him and start using him more and more because I think he's going to be a big help for my Rebels team, and I think he can be a big help for your Rebels teams. So those are kind of my top 10 characters. Obviously, all the Galactic Legends and every Legendary and Raid character is pretty great, but I kind of wanted to just do characters that are more easily accessible and for the mid game players who aren't really at the end game but are starting to balance both light and dark side of their roster. So these are some examples for you to go down and start kind of building teams around because there's some pretty great characters. But thanks for watching and have a good day. Bye.